Hey guys, on the bench today I have a Marantz 2230. The customer bought two of these. He bought a 2270 as well. Brought them to my shop because he wants me to check them over. Now these, the capacitor has all been changed according to him. I've got a bag here. Also with this receiver is a bag of capacitors that he's telling me that they were changed already on this, and all he wants me to do is check it over, sure everything is okay, and I told him that I would, and I'm going to make a really quick video. I think this could be a good video. I'm going to power this on and see what this looks like. Looks like the lamps have all been changed. Yeah, everything is working, so that's great. See if I have any DC voltage on this. DC voltage is really good. Okay, so no DC voltage. So what he wants me to do, I guess, he wants me to open this up and check around, see if I can't find anything out of the ordinary, and I told him that I would, and we're gonna do just that. Okay, let's do it. Open this up. And there are the new capacitors. Here, I'll bring you guys closer. Here, I'll bring you guys closer. There we go. The nice blue lamps. Here's the inside. The power amp for the right channel. Power amp for the left channel. All new caps as well. Doesn't look like he's changed anything on this circuit, and he hasn't touched none of these either, but all in all seems to be, this is your protected circuit right here. He did change those capacitors. Looks great. I like it. Great big Marantz transformer here, and I did check for any distortion or any crackments on the potentiometers, and they look like it looks like they've been cleaned, so that's good. Alright, so this is going to be a quickie, eh? We'll set you back here. And the potentiometers are here for the biased. I'm not sure what the bias is going to be on this. I've jumped right at the biased. I've set it up to for the left channel right now, and I'm reading 2.8 as millivolts across the resistor 774. There's only the one resistor. It's the emitter resistor that's way down there, so it's kind of tricky to get. So what I've done was I've shut it off just to make sure that I don't touch anything while I'm hooking up my probes on that. And now that I'm hooked up, I've powered it on, and I'm letting this warm up a little bit. So I'm going to bring you guys closer so you guys can see. There it is. I've got the multimeter here. And this would be my pod down there. This one right here, the R765. And this is again for the left channel. And I'm reading, according to the service manual, I should be reading about 5 millivolts. I'm only reading 2.8, so I can actually bring this up to comfortably 5, no problem. Oh, the other way. So we'll reach, look at that, 5.1. Oop. As soon as I let go, it went up to, I'm going to read it at, I'm going to leave it at 5.2. 5.2 is pretty good. So again, the left channel, I'll test the right channel now. So what I'll do is I'll power this off. I want to make sure that I don't touch anything. And I'm just going to adjust my probes. This resistor way down here. So there's a resistor. Show you where that resistor is. It's the white resistor down there that you see. And that was the left channel. Here's the right channel, and there's the resistor down there. My probes are attached to it. These are my probes right there. So I'm ready to power this on, and we are reading, it's going to settle down there for about 2.5, 2.3, and we should have, according to the service manual, 5 millivolts. We're going to do just that. I'm just going to let it warm up for a little bit, and I'll swing this around here so I can see the pot right there. There's the 2.7, 5.4. I'm pretty happy with that. Both channels are set to about 5. So I've got my frequency here through the auxiliary, my scope and my speakers. Should be here some noise. I'll power this on, and I'll put this on auxiliary. And there's my frequency. I will mute this, give you an 8 ohm load, and check out my wave. There it is. I'm at 10 volts per division, and I think I'll try to get you guys closer if I can. I always like to have you guys closer to this, but sometimes it's pretty hard. So I'm controlling the volume here. I'm about half right there. Check the half. The half is giving me 800 millivolts. There, let's crank this up. I've got it at full tilt at 13.2. It's pretty equal. I don't have any distortion at all, and I can put this up to 14.8. And then both of these channels are equal. We'll bring you guys closer with this. So let's do this. There's the beautiful Marantz, and there's my scope to 14.8. Both channels are equal at this, and I've got this. I can't go any further than this under an 8 ohm load. I have no distortion, and it's giving me 14.8. So we'll add this up. I'm going to kick this back a little bit directly from the speaker terminal, see what I get, and put this on AC. The scope is giving me 15.2 right now, 14.8, and check out my multimeter is giving me 16, almost 16.5 on the speaker, and it's hooked up to the speaker terminal back here, right? There's my probe. So 16.5, it's definitely above and beyond 30 for sure. So anyways, we're going to put this back together. There's nothing that I can do more about this. All the capacitors have been changed on this, and the only one more thing that I could have done with this, and I'm going to do it right now. So I'll bring this down, and I can go to ground. Speaker terminals are pretty good ground, and if I put in circuitry where I can actually adjust the voltage that goes from the power supply, and from pin, this is pin, what was the pin again? J08 right there, where I have the red probe right there. And I should be reading 35.6, and I've got 35.9, so that's perfect. I'm not even going to touch that, but if I had to, I could have adjusted with this this trimmer pod right there. So this is the protecting circuit right here, and these capacitors have been changed as well. The filter capacitor has been changed. Like I said, all these capacitors as well. There's not much else that I'm going to do with this. This is working perfectly. I did adjust the bias a little bit, but I don't think it's going to make any difference from 2.3 to 5 millivolts. But anyways, they're both at 5 millivolts where the service manual was asking for it. Everything looks great. Don't need to do anything with this other than putting the cover back on and ship this back to the customer. He's probably going to want this. And if you like the video, thumbs up. And on the next video is a Marantz 2270. And I'm probably going to do this on the same video because the capacitor has been changed on the 70 as well. All he wants me to do is check it out, and we're going to do that next, okay? This is a heavy one. On the bench is the 2270. I just repaired the 2230. This, I'm going to start working on the 2270 now. The Marantz 2270 pushes 70 watts per channel. We are going to see what kind of issues that I could find in here. See if the capacitors are all bang on. And we'll check probably the bias, see if I have any DC voltage. And we'll also check some voltage, see how many watts per channel. This is pushing 70. We'll see if it does. So if you guys are ready, we're going to get to work with the 2270. box up and see what we've got. It's all been changed. I'll bring you guys closer on the 2270. Here's the 2270. And he's changed these great big caps there, the filter caps. The protected circuit is down there with the relay. All new caps here as well. These are my power amp for the left and the right. This is my FM tuner circuitry right here. This could be probably the phono section down there. And everything looks good. Pretty sure he's checked everything out of this. It looks really nice. So we'll back you up on this. There is something underneath here. Something is in there. I'm gonna have to take this apart. Okay, is there a screw missing somewhere? So I'm not seeing anything so far, but there's something loose under here. I think this is something in here. Marantz 2070 on the bench. A couple of issues that I needed to settle. There was a rattle. The customer was asking me about the rattle inside. It was a little screw that was pinned underneath one of these canisters. But anyway, check out the transformer. This thing is pushing. It's supposed to be 70 watts per channel. And I'm going to get you guys closer. It's just beautiful. Caps are on. All new caps here. Filter caps have been replaced. And these are my left and the right channel. These are the power amps. Even the FM section capacitors on the capacitor on the relay section. These are all brand new caps as well. And we are able to set the voltage board. And so we'll check it. Puts are brand new. These are MJ15024G. That's the right channel I'm showing you. Let's go back to the left. Left ones are original. They've only changed the one on the right. I would have changed this one if I would have my way, but do it so. Oh well. It sounds as good. I've got it through the dim bulb here, and let's power this on and see what kind of voltage I'm using with this. Using for 8 volts, but this is a powerful amp, so I'm expecting it to draw a little bit more. But looks like the lamps have been changed. No auxiliary right now. I changed them. They're all working. Auxiliary, and I have a switch on here. And here onto the scope. See what kind of power I've got on this. So you notice a little bit of distortion here because I have it on the dim bulb. So shut this off, just switch it to a regular button. This should be fine. Power it on again. There we go. This is regular outlet. This out. I'm bringing the volume up very well. This got 2280 on the right, 2320 on the left. I've got a little bit of a 0.4 voltage in the difference between the left and the right, so it's not a big deal. I have no distortion. I'm all the way up here, right? And I'm under an 8 ohm load, so it's working really nice. I'll put you back on the stand. I know that they've changed the right output transistors on the right channel. I'm not sure if they've set the bias, so I am definitely going to check the bias on here and see. So I'm going to have to download the schematic, and it's going to take me a little bit to do that, so we'll be right back. So I went online and I didn't print it off. It was just too long, so I just wrote it down what I really needed to do. The power supply is supposed to give me 35 volts, and I'm able to check that, and I'm going to check that with you guys. And then the bias should be set to 5 millivolt, just like the 2230. So this is what's going to happen next. I'm going to tackle the circuitry on the protected circuit, and I see what kind of voltage I'm getting there. And I'm supposed to go to pin, see where my pins are. Pin J802, 802 and J803. Where the hell are you guys? Gotcha. I'll bring you guys closer. So I have on the protected circuit, I've got a pin right there. That's 802, the other one's 803, or vice versa. This is 802 here and 803 here. I need to get those two, and then that should give me 35 volts if I power it on. So here we go. We're gonna back this up a little bit. Give my multimeter DC voltage, and I'm gonna power this on a regular outlet, right? So here we go. 34, 9, 35. Look at that. bang on. So the power supply is giving me 35 volts. I'm happy with this. Now I'm going to shut this off, and just wanted to show you guys the outputs here on the right channel has been changed. Just curious about the bias. Gotcha. So they're on this side. I'm going to untangle this. So these are the posts right down now. I'll unplug this and I'll hook up. So I'm on these two posts, and those two posts should give me 5 millivolts with any luck at all. There we go. All right. So now that I'm set for the right channel, put this on millivolts, and I'm going to power this on. We'll let this warm up a little bit, and I should be reading 5 millivolts. It's settling, but it's not. I don't really care for that too much. And I assume this is. Does that mean that this is the one way down there? I'm going to have to take. I'll shut this off. I'm going to need to take the stupid bottom plate off. Damn it. Crap. Didn't want to do that. The truth of the matter is I had it off. There. It's off again. But this one, I think that's the one. So 1, 2, and one on the bottom. Power this on. So again, I'm measuring the right channel. Certainly not those ones. Nothing is affecting anything. Okay, I found an issue. I was trying to hook up my pins here, down here. These two pins here are supposed to be hooked up, and I should be able to read the bias of 5 millivolts. These two pins here, and I was getting some voltage. So I tried to do a little bit of investigation on this board here, and I realized all I've done was touch this, and this broke off. This is a resistor, and if you check on way out there, right here, it's not even soldered to the circuit board. I can probably pull it right out if I wanted to. So I'm going to have to replace this resistor. See how it's broken into? And I don't know if you guys can see it, but look, I just pulled it right out. It wasn't soldered. So this is a high voltage resistor. So I'm going to have to go on the schematic and check what that is. And I may not have to take this whole board off. It's right on the edge. I might be able to solder it back in. Hopefully that'll fix the problem. It's obvious that he's worked on this board before. All these capacitors have changed. I shouldn't have an issue with this. I should be able to find a resistor for this, and then we'll continue on. But I'm going to have to stop the video now, and I'll replace that resistor. Back on the Marantz 2270. Remember, I had an issue with the resistor, 150 ohm resistor at 1 watts, and it was this one. I think it was on this side. This one right here, and I'll show you guys this resistor right here. I don't know if I still have that resistor, but anyway, it just snapped in two for no reason at all. So there was a bad resistor. I found out that the pins that I need to put my multimeter on, it's on the schematic. It's asking for the pin 753 and 754, but it's not 753. I have voltage on 753. I have about 40 volts there, and the other pin, the pin should be 754 and 760. According to Audio Karma, they're saying that this is a later date than the original when it came out. I was able to locate these pinouts, and we are supposed to be measuring this at 5 millivolts. According to this, it's 5 millivolts. So we'll see how much bias we are getting on this. So I'm ready to set myself up. Here we go, change my probes. And I'll use a regular outlet, and it's power off right now. I'm gonna put these probes in first. I'll power it on after. It's for safety purposes. Okay, right down here, and the other one is kind of on the side. There, I'm attached to it. So I'm going to power this on, and I'm measuring 2.1. I'll bring you guys closer to this. There it is. And get one from each side. The other one's on this side, and that is 754, and the 760, it's more towards this end, so you're able to get it through. I went underneath here with these probes. They're really nice and long, so I'm able to reach it. But anyways, I'm on the right pinouts, and I'm reading 2.2. Or I'll let this warm up a little bit, and then we'll adjust the bias to 5 millivolts accordingly. Okay, back you off for this. There you go. And the trimmer pods are right down here, and I'm supposed to get the trimmer 763 right here. So this is going to be the guy. See how well this responds to it. And let's see. Yeah, there you go. It's responding well. So it's at 2.3. I'm going to bring it up a little bit because I don't think it's moving. It's almost settled at 2 point something. So I'd like to have at least 5. I think I'm going to bring it up to maybe 5.5, 5.4, 5.5. I'm going to let it sit there for a little bit. Anyways, it's this trimmer pod here. Kind of looks like they've changed this trimmer pod here. And this would be for the DC voltage, and we're going to check the DC voltage, see if we have any. This is 5.9, so it's a bit high. So I'll kick her back. You know, millivolts wouldn't make any difference either. But, you know, asking for 5, so we'll go with the 5. And this has been running for a little bit. And if you guys noticed, I will bring you closer to this, but I had an issue with this one. Kind of an issue with this resistor. And look at this. Oop. I just touched it and it broke in half. So there's no way that you can just touch this and they break. These are pretty dirty, heavy duty stuff. But this one was cracked, and if it didn't cause us any issues, it would have eventually, for sure. So we caught it on time when we replaced it with the new one. This is 100 ohm. Okay, there we go. I'll kick you guys back. And it is kind of warming up now. I've got a bit much, so I'm going to bring this down to about 5.4. I'm comfortable with that. 5.5, you guys okay with it? I'll power this off now. Make sure that I don't touch anything as I'm taking my probes out of there. These probes here are really handy to have. You can go in, and if you don't push this out, you're pretty well isolated. Okay, pretty well isolated, so works really nice for this. So now that I've done the right channel, I'm going to attempt to do the left channel. So left channel, there's, and pin 754 is on this side. Okay, 754. So we should have power this on. Yeah, that one is pretty high. For some reason, this would have been probably factory reset. I'm not sure if this shouldn't be at 10 volts. Apparently, this should be set to 10 millivolts. And this is at 14.5. So we'll attempt to test this, to set this at 10 millivolts and 10.5. Nice. 10.6. Kick her back. 10.5 is nice. 10.5. I like that. So we'll set, this is the left channel at 10.5. It was approximately 14 millivolts, so it just needed to be tuned down a little bit. Might have to bring it down a notch again. 10.1, we'll leave it there. Should be okay now. I'm pretty comfortable with this. 10.4. Power this off again. Just take this one out. I'll take this out of there and we'll do the right channel. So I'll have to flip this around again. It's so heavy, eh? Oh, the right channel is the one on the bottom, and this is powered off. So I want 754 and pin 760. 760 is underneath here. This one right there. We're good to power this on. Make sure that this is okay. The pods are right there, so power it on. Goes to 10.7, but it's going to warm up a little bit, so I'll leave it there for now. It's an automatic shut off, so it shuts off automatic. We're getting closer to where I want to be. I think I'm going to crank it down just a little bit. You don't have to touch much, eh? I don't think I'll touch that again. I think I'll back you guys up. Guys, it's set at 10.5. I'm pretty satisfied with this. So I'm not going to touch the bias anymore. What we're going to do now is going to check if I have any DC voltage, because I can adjust that if I have DC voltage, but I want to shut it off before I touch my probes. I'm going to shut this off. I don't want to create a short. So you're always safer if you're going into a tight spot. It's always good to shut it off. And there we go. So we'll check. There's the left channel for DC voltage. There we go, power this on, and I'll show you if I do have DC voltage. It's set to 20. I can probably do better than that. It's pretty good. I'll do it just for the sake of doing it with you guys. Look at that. This is millivolts, 5.5. That's pretty damn close. So this is the right channel, 0 DC voltage. Pretty happy with that. And let's try the right channel, or the left channel, should I say. There, this one has 44. Here, I'll bring it close. This is the left channel at 44. I am gonna bring this around because the pods are on this side. There it is. This is the guy right there. I'm gonna bring this as close to 0 as I can. And I am on millivolts, eh? Check this out. 8 millivolts DC. Perfect. This is bang on. I'm going to swing this around. Probably ready to put the bottom plate back on, so I'll shut this off. Let's do it. There we go. One more. Back here. Guys, I'm on the final step for this Marantz. All I want to do now is I'm going to check if how many watts per channel I'm supposed to get. This is rated at 70 watts per channel. Let's see if it's actually bang on, or maybe I'll get a little more. They've changed all the capacitors on this, right? So I've got it through the scope and regular outlet. Give you guys an auxiliary. Oh man, no battery. Guys, I'm all set to test the wattage on this 2270 Marantz. Let's see if it's actually pushing 70 watts per channel. So I'm all set up. I've got a frequency going in there, and there it is. 1000 hertz going through my scope and my speakers, and this is gonna be a test. I'll power this on. Oh, it's already on. So I'll mute this, and there's my wave. Okay, I'll bring you guys closer. We are set at 10 volts per division, so every square that my wave hits is 10 volts. So let's see how many squares she'll pick up. There we go. I'm at half right now. I'm at 3/4 and at 17.2. I have no distortion on this, even under an 8 load, and I'm pushing 23.2. 23.2 RMS on this. Every single square that you see. There's my balance here is working great. I have no distortion on any of these. These have been clean. I'll put this on phone. I'll see if I get any noise. I do a little bit, but that's normal. That's the same. Both channels are working on the phono stage as well. You have a square wave only because I don't have the right frequency going through here. But I just wanted to test it, and there's my phono stage. So it's working really well, and have no issues with this at all. So like you said, I'm going to get you your DC voltage on these outputs. Both channels are exactly the same. Even though the outputs are different from the right to the left, it's still giving me the output of the same RMS. And I will check some voltage here. And the voltage coming out of my filter capacitors directly onto my outputs is 46.8. I'll try to sneak something here. I'm gonna put this on DC volts and I'll see what the outputs are giving me, being very careful with it. So this is 46.8 and on the other side 46.8. So they're both equal on each side, which is perfect. I shut it off. And it's just to give you guys an idea that if you ever have an issue with a 2270, well then again, when everything is working great, you should have around 46 to 47 volts coming out of the filter capacitors directly on to your output. Okay guys, I'm gonna wrap this up, put the top back on and put it back together, ready to go back to the customer. It was a fun little project. We were able to see what was the Marantz 2270 was made out. It's a really nice amp. If you're a Marantz fan, this would be a really nice receiver to get. And if you like the video, thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it.